The geographical dimension helps us understand, explain, model why things happen in particular places, to particular people at certain times, and what's happening and why. Very often organisations have large amounts of data which is not information, it's just raw facts. And until you analyse that data and turn it into actionable information, it remains effectively a kind of latent resource. So our job is to analyse and bring together data in order to generate information, knowledge that organisations can work with. And this can take a number of forms. Either the organisation have a lot of data, their transactions database, that they would like analysing, or we analyse their data alongside other sources of data that are available in the public domain to add context and further explain what's happening in the organisation, or they require us to go out and find data that will tell them about the context of their business, future trajectories and things like that. So quite diverse in areas of crime, health, education, transport, businesses, as well as public sector organisations. The information that we generate speaks to both operational and strategic aspects of an organisation's business, whether that's private sector, public sector, third sector type of organisation. So impacts can be immediately in terms of how they undertake their business, particular changes they want to make that will improve things, but also strategically in terms of planning for the way, for example, their market may be changing in the medium to longer term, so that they are prepared for that. So one example at the moment, there's a lot of concern in the health sector about future population growth and being prepared to meet the needs of future populations. And so we've been doing a lot of population modelling for primary care trusts and other organisations in the health sector, so that they know at a fine geographical scale what's happening to population, and therefore what they need to do in order to meet the needs of that population in the future. With case studies that we can bring into teaching, it provides us over a number of projects with important research questions that can then be taken forward into research. And it can also provide us with material for publications, obviously with a client's permission, but it allows us to do that. So there are lots of benefits to us in doing consultancy, and it enhances our reputation. We don't have to cold call for projects. We're kept very busy by people calling us through word-of-mouth recommendations, and that says something about our reputation in this area. The projects, as I said, have always a novel, challenging component to them. It's not just boring turning the handle. I mean, there are other private sector consultancy organisations that do that. Organisations that come to a university require us to do the more difficult problems that they are facing, and there is inevitably an element of research in that. So it's the challenge, it's being able to find solutions for these organisations. It's the lead in to research that kind of benefits us. And there are benefits also for students, because students always love to hear about fresh case studies, things that are happening now. The fact that their subject is live out there in the real world, and that we are solving the types of problems that they would like to get engaged in, and we can show them how we did it, and they always find that very exciting and brings their subject alive. Universities are involved in research, and as such we're very much at the cutting edge. And what we can do with consultancy is that we can bring these new techniques in order to help organisations. We can bring them into the applied area, and instead of being just ivory towers type work, is very much in the community, benefiting organisations, and it becomes a form of knowledge transfer from us to them. We're not wanting to do their projects forever. We expect that when we engage with them and we do projects for them and with them, that actually they are understanding how we do it and the techniques that we use, so they can then pick that up and are then able to do it for themselves. We're not here to run their businesses. If you're needing to broaden that out, you may need to bring together other partners in order to do it. Secondly, short topics, short projects can be fitted in amongst other activities fairly easily, particularly during out of semester time, when the burden of students isn't there. And it will provide you with very useful teaching material to bring into your classes. You'll be a better teacher for doing consultancy. One of our frequent clients also uses other older universities, world-famous universities in London. And one day at a meeting, they commented to me that when they went to these other universities with a problem, what they got was a theory. And that when they came to University of East London, what they got was a solution.